to do this, so I need your attention while you're logging in and getting rolling. Today's header on your notes, because we do still need graph paper out. I said graph paper with header, right? Like, I do change these things for you guys. It's not the same thing daily. Homework needs to be written down, please. For my band people, raise your hand. Who's going to be gone tomorrow? Okay, love you guys. Have a great trip, but we're not going to stop what we're doing for you. So, make sure you have tomorrow's homework written down already in your plan book since you won't be here. 822-45 to 50. Essentially just 10 more numbers up. 822-45 to 50. That's tomorrow. And really everybody could just do it. And yes, you can just watch the video if you have any issues or you want to not miss anything from what we did in class. Now, if we have ample Chromebooks, you don't have to be paired up right now. So I see extra Chromebooks some places where you both have your own. We might be able to steal some others from the hallway. I got 2 extras in here right now, so if people don't want to be in pairs and they want to work independently, that is fine. You want to navigate to, I didn't say CPM, the website you want to go to is student.desmos.com, but only one of you needs to be driving, right, if you're pairing. I will show you in just a moment. Everyone have your homework written down? Are we good with that?
Yep.
Okay, so here's what's up.
I love it.
Yeah, just hang on. You don't do anything else. Put a header on your paper that either says sampling, like active word sampling, or representative samples. That's totally fine.
Can we put representative sampling?
Yeah, but that's not really a thing. That would be kind of messing with the words and making something up. You guys need more work to do. You play too many games. Alright, here's what's up. I need your attention now for a second because you don't have a code and you don't know what to do.
Yay.
What we're going to do today is a study in sampling. Now what we're going to do tomorrow is expound on that and talk about what we can do once we have samples. Hey, if you're navigating to the wrong place right here, just chill. I'll put stuff up on the board in a second, but I just need you paying attention to me right now. A sample is a small chunk or a portion of a population. So another word we can use for that is a subset. The set is everybody. A subset would be a group of it. So you right here, right now, are a sample of Phoenix. Right? This classroom is a sample of Phoenix. Now, a representative sample means it shows you all the characteristics of the group. So, do we in this class show that Phoenix has boys and girls?
Yes.
Yes. Do we in this class show that Phoenix has 7th grade and 8th grade?
No.
No.
Yes.
We are only 7th graders. So we, as a class, would not be a representative sample because we don't show all the characteristics of the school. We would be a sample, but not a representative sample. Hey, Micah, are you accomplishing anything right now aside from just showing me that you don't respect me very much? So, to help teach you about this, Desmos has created some cool activities. So, this is why I couldn't show it to you because I didn't have it launched. Go to student.desmos.com and type in this code. I highly doubt it. Desmos makes things as easy as possible. Oh, anyone playing along at home, you won't be able to do this probably because it won't be live. Although you might be able to, I don't know, give it a shot.
For them to have it why don't you keep it
I don't know if it works. I don't know if it times out. Once you're here and you click join, it'll probably ask you to log in. You can do that with Google. Google logs you in. AC3WCS. It's up on the TV. You should end up at this screen. Please don't go any further forward. I mean, if you click go, that's okay. But wait, just wait. I want to clarify the instructions because it's a little bit complicated. So once you get here, just wait. Just chill.
The flag. Jimmy.
Flag, like a flag, like the country's flag,
Yeah.
like the American flag or the Ohio flag. Here's what's up. I need your attention up here for just a moment. You can finish typing your names in a second. You are going to be given a sample of a flag. Guys, I think you're typing the word wrong. S.
Yeah, we tried that.
What do you mean you tried that? It should work. Student.desmos.com. So check it. When I get a sample, it only shows me a portion. So if that was my sample, I might be able to figure out what flag it is, knowing that that's the whole flag. I might not. So as you go through this activity, what you're going to encounter, is when you hit this button, you're going to get a look at the flag. From that view, you need to try to figure out if you can determine which flag it is. When you're confident, submit it. So from one view, I may not be able to figure out which one this is. It looks like there's like aqua bar and then white above and white below. So if I'm not sure, get another look of the flag, another sample. And then maybe I can figure out, well, okay, I have blue dots in the crossings of all of them. Right? Blue dot in the crossings of green or aqua or whatever. Well, that doesn't really help me. Every time you hit new look, it's going to regenerate. All right, Quinn, you think you know which one?
I think it's the first one.
This one?
Yeah.
Nope.
What?
This is what you're going to work on. Now, let me tell you, look up on the TV. I see what you're doing as you're doing it. If you screw around on this, you're done. I had a student last class, I told him he can't drive anymore. When we do this, when we partner, he can't. Because one of his written responses he typed in was just E, capital, lowercase, like, it was just a waste of time. This is meant to be productive and teach you something. If you're just screwing around, you're done. Okay, I'll just send you to the office or out in the hall, or like, if you can't handle this, you can't handle this. But I think we all can. But I have to be very clear about that. I see what you're doing. Like, as you type, literally, before you even submit it, I see what you're doing. So I'm not going to keep the TV on for that reason, but then I can watch as you guys go, and I can come around and kind of help people that need help. But this is really just kind of like an exploratory activity. But this is our test in a way. Desmos just released a bunch of CPM-related stuff. So if we want to, like, if we say, like, this is sweet, and we want to do a lot of it, so if I go to my teacher notes, I just like you guys knowing what's going on.
Yeah.
In technology, and actually I forget, this is tomorrow's lesson. Sorry, in our tech area, and I closed the other tab accidentally. They have that little Desmos Hertz CPM. They have a bunch of activities for like the whole chapter. So if we do well on this, and I did not know this existed yesterday, we might go back and do this here today. But if we do well with this activity, I would like to do a lot more of these. Get you guys on Chromebooks and experimenting with stuff and playing with stuff. You got to respect what we're doing. Okay, this is not just a game. Like, we're not just goofing around. We're trying to learn here. Does that make sense? So if you have a question, stick up a hand, and I will come around, but I'm going to turn off the TV so I can keep watch on you guys and see what's going on. Work through this.
Okay. It's not that.
Oh, and then by the way, once you submit a wrong answer, you just click edit your response.
Okay.
You can always go back and edit things. So the same button is submit and edit.
Where's the teacher? Yeah.
By the way, yours could easily be different than mine. So don't just like trust what somebody else is doing, or like yours could be unique to you easily.
Wait, no, actually, Mr. Hudson, you were right. Yeah.
What do you mean I was right?
That did that all the same. The first one we got was the first box that you got wrong.
Like that better than mine. A dot in the intersection.
I pulled out these two. Okay, so it has to be this.
Ah. So I used 6 views. I wonder if you do it once.
I don't know, I just am confident about something. Alright, so it's an orange. Yeah, it has to be. Yeah, I'm just
It has to be mostly orange.
okay, yeah. Yeah, I can do that. Okay. Okay, so I have to do this. Bah humbug. Okay. Oh boy.
Like you're flying. Just you're going fast. Just make sure that you're getting the most out of this.
Are you serious? Mr. Hudson, this needs logic.
That's a good one.
Yes. No.
You describe what you mean. Back to your previous answer. Go back. So, what do you mean by zoom in? So, like a smaller image? That makes it easier? Well, so go back. So, what if this only gave you one dot? As opposed to 4 dots? So that's why I'm confused by what you mean by zooming out more. When you zoom in, you see less. Because when you zoom in, you're looking at a smaller region, and it would like fill the same space. But like zooming out, I could show like 9 by 9, or like 3 by 3. I could show 9 squares. That would be zoomed out. I think you may have kind of switched your answer over. I think if we really kind of think about it, because right, zooming in would give me a smaller chunk of it. Even if we get back to the flags, what if all you saw was like green? Like, well, okay, that could be any flag. And you do another view, and all you see is like a blue dot. That could be any other flag. That makes it harder. So I just want to talk to you about that for a second. What is this? Okay, interesting.
What did you guys mean? Smaller spaces. You said smaller. What do you like? So go back to a blue line. So if instead of zooming in, so go back. So if I zoom in more, I give you one blue dot. That's gonna make it easier.
No, but this one is easier.
You took 4 looks there.
No, this one we messed up. We got it. This one oh, back here.
So let me go back to my original question. 1 dot as opposed to 4.
No, that was hard.
Then how are 4 dots easier than 9? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Or, you're making that.
So I think you maybe goofed up what you're doing is like a smaller space on the field is going to show less dots. Bigger space on the field, you can kind of more easily match it up. Can you so you have 9 of them, 9 dots, right? You're looking for blue in the top right, and then so you can easily cut out 2 of them automatically. So then, I probably just one more book to figure it out. You guys have already figured it out.
No.
So, is this easier than working with only 4 dots? I think it would. But that's just me. Like, I could be wrong.
That one, yeah, I automatically cut out 2 here with the smaller one.
So, what you might actually discover is regardless of sample size, it depends on how good the sample is. Even if you only have a sample size of 4, if it accurately shows like what we need to see, then it might be better even in a bigger sample. Because like this is a pretty big sample of Phoenix, right? But it doesn't show Phoenix. It doesn't show 7.83. So you might be discovering something really interesting.
Oh wait, no,
Is there any way I can just continuously do this? This is really fun.
I mean, I could give you a different activity. Do you want to go back and test the other one that would have been from yesterday?
Sure. I just need to log on to
Go to student.desmos.com,
Alright.
and then there's your code.
Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna put it.
Braylon, when you're done, if you want, here's a code for the one that we would have done yesterday, potentially, if you want to try that one. As people finish and submit their research question 2, I'll leave this up here, so you can go back and play with that activity.
Come on.
Alright, take about 30 seconds to transition over. You can keep your computer up because we still got time for you to continue working on this. But I want to make sure we get some vocab down, especially since we are going to be missing our band friends tomorrow.
No.
Sorry, not my choice.
Yeah, just I can't read the Bible. It's at
Alright, on your notes, you should have written down sampling or representative samples, depending on how you type it up. But you could write down sampling again. Thank you. I don't know about perfect. So the first thing we got to talk about with sampling is what a population is. So please write down population. These are vocab words that are going to be important on your practice work and as we move forward in our studies. This is probably why some of you who are working ahead on your homework are confused at things or need to look stuff up. Population is every thing or every piece, every part, the whole view, whatever you want to say, we can make it easy and say everything in a group. So, for example, sorry, I should not have put group right there. For example, because we're going to put examples for each of these. Phoenix, right? We said Phoenix could be our population that we talk about. So, all of Phoenix, which a lot of us abbreviate Phoenix PHX. All of Phoenix would be a population. Now, also, all of Worthington schools could be a population. All of Worthington could be a population. Like, it's all how you define what the group is. But if we're using Phoenix as our population, then a sample, change colors again and make life easy. Is a small portion of the population. A sample is a small portion. Hey Simon, you listen to me? We're writing down vocab right now. I asked you guys to transition. That was a couple minutes ago. I gave people plenty of time. Guys, I'll keep apologizing for this, but it's not going to change what I do. Like, we're in November. There's certain behaviors that we should have worked out by now. You can't just choose to do whatever you want to do. And I'm not talking to Simon. I'm talking to, like, every Phoenix student. You can't just choose to do whatever you want to do when somebody's giving you clear, direct directions. Now, a sample will then have a size. So sample size is just how many. So for example, if we use our class as the sample, I should know this, but we have 21 of us. Our class is a sample of 21 out of about 170. Because our population at Phoenix is about 170. Hey, Quinn, you with me, dude? Writing this stuff down? Because I'm actively writing and you're not. So sample and sample size go real easily with each other. Once you have a sample, so like your dots, you had sample sizes of 4, and you also had sample sizes of 9, right? It boxed out either 4 in a square or 9 in a square. Sample size for the flags would be kind of difficult. We'd probably have to say something like 1/32 of the area, or if you knew what the area of the flag was, and then you say our sample size was an area of 8 square inches or something like that, you could say that. Now the number of samples, let me change colors again. Number of samples is just how many we look at. So how many different samples we look at. What could be an example of how we could look at multiple samples of Phoenix? Yeah, multiple classes. So for our example use, multiple classrooms. So if I go over and we then look at my math class right now and Mr. Hall's math class right now, would that be more representative than just looking at this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, because then I can look at this sample and this sample are both from the same population. Oh, they have 7th and 8th graders in that population. But if I only look at one sample, I'm only seeing 7th graders.
Well, we could look at a place where 7th and 8th graders combining.
Ah, took the words right out of my mouth. A representative sample.
Is there any way I can do that?
Sorry, that's a big word. Please write it at least once, and then we'll abbreviate after that. It's a rep sample. We'll probably abbreviate. A representative sample is one sample that shows all population characteristics. So one sample, this is kind of a gross brown color, I didn't realize. One sample that shows the characteristics, or I guess you could use traits, of the population. You're just a fast writer. I was never a fast writer. I now write better on a vertical surface than I do horizontal. And some of my friends can't believe I can write and like look at you guys. Like, how do you? Now we have different types of ways we collect our samples. So please, on your paper, write like sample collection or collecting samples or whatever you want to say. Or you could, again, just write sampling, I guess. Ways to sample. we already know what a representative sample is, but that's not a way to sample. That's just like we get lucky if we get a representative sample. So now somebody said we could look at Family Forum. Excuse me, but if we look at Family Forum, is that a sample? That's the population, right? So what if we looked at one of your combined 7th to 8th grade like connections classes?
That's what I was trying to get at.
Yeah, one of those combined connections classes. That would be a representative sample probably. Now, how can we collect samples? Convenience, my favorite way. It's not great, but it's great. It's not great, but it's great.
What?
Convenience, whatever's easy. What that means is like I'm standing in the hallway and say, hey, I need 10 people. Whoever shows up, I take them. I stand at the front door and I say, you. Oh, come here.
Get over here.
Easy, right? Convenient sampling is whatever's easy. Seriously, that's it. The problem with that, y'all are easy right now for me, right? I can look at you, you're a sample, you're part of Phoenix. Woo! Are you representative?
No.
So, this is often not representative.
It'd be very convenient if you did get representative.
That would be nice.
But can you have a sample of like one person or everybody except one person?
This still wouldn't really be a sample. Sample needs to be like under half of the population, because otherwise it doesn't really make much sense of like why are we doing it as a sample if we take like everybody but one. Now a cluster sample. So I'm going to read it for you, then we'll decide how to shorten it. A cluster sample is a subgroup of the population that contains a common characteristic, sampling only the 8th graders, or what's a way that we could talk about, like, so cluster is just like a common subgroup. So for us,
So it would be like, instead of just like giving the whole 7th grade, you would like subgroup of that as like all 7th graders in class 17.
yes, still would be biased though, right? It still wouldn't be representative. Y'all would be a cluster. But if I want to try to make a better cluster group that might be representative, there's something happening very soon that could actually work out well. The band trip.
Oh.
Everyone going on the band trip has a common trait, right? You're all in band. But you might represent that Phoenix has boys and girls, young and old, 7th and 8th. So our example would be like the band trip. I could use that as a cluster. Sorry, Beth. There's always a point where I get loud enough she shuts her wall. And then voluntary response. Now this one's also pretty easy. Yeah, there's an N there. Voluntary.
Response.
I can't write today.
I thought you said you could write better on a smartboard than a...
Yeah, which says how bad my normal handwriting is.
Oh, no.
Voluntary response. Please.
Please.
All you do is ask. It's whoever responds. So if you put an ad in the newspaper, and you say, I'm looking for middle schoolers to answer these survey questions, go to this link and take my survey. Whoever follows that link, that's your sample, right? That's who you get to look at. That's your data. No, like you couldn't actually make it. Well, I guess you could. So what I need you guys to do now, please, is log off your Chromebooks and put them back in the cart right here. They should go to this cart right in my classroom. And then pack up and head out. Band trip people, I'll try to catch up on Monday, but next week's really weird, so I would advise probably watch the video if you get a chance over the weekend. Remember, I'm collecting this work next week on Monday or Tuesday. I will take it on Tuesday, but there's no formal math class. Then once you're all put away, have a great day. Dang it, I have papers to pass back. Yeah, it's a lot of practice work, essentially. Okay.
Jacob, you know what?